builder?
Yes, please. I hit record, so we should be recording. I am going to share to live, if I can, live on Facebook. Usually it makes me add a title before it goes live, but I'm not sure. At any time, you never know. It usually goes live before it shows up on Facebook. Okay, live stream meeting. I'm gonna put, what did I call this? Cancer survivor overcoming life obstacles. I'll put shares her life hacks. There you go.
Okay.
I don't know, right?
Sure.
What I learned in class today was imperfect is better than no action. Okay, cancer survivor overcoming life obstacles, life hacks. Boom, bam. Okay, I can drop that in.
So it might be live right now. You're not sure?
I don't think so, but it's definitely recording right now. Choose to share on my timeline. Who should see this? Public. And oh, it didn't even ask me to go to all the groups or not. Okay, I guess it's not. Okay, I'm ready to go live. Are you guys ready?
Ready. Yep.
All right. Okay, I clicked the live button. We shall see. Dun, da, da, da. Let's wait a few seconds, see if it shows up on my wall. Didn't show up yet. It says we're live. If you guys can see us, sorry about the few minute delay, technical difficulties. Oh, yes. Okay, it's on my wall now. Can you share it to the Dream Builder group? And I'm going to share it to the story. We'll just buy a minute here, guys. Sorry, we're a couple minutes late. Technical difficulties. We're just hitting the share button before we get started. We're going to keep it short and sweet for you guys and find out what your wants and needs are for the near future. Let me just share it to Page's story. Share it to your story. All right, I'm just going to share it to the book page. Second, cancer. Shares life hacks. Okay. Oh, yes. Shared it to the page. Give me one more minute. Share to page. How are you guys doing tonight?
Very good. Very, very.
I like that. Oh, very, very good.
Yes.
I can change titles later. I'll just post up there for now. Share to page. One more. I'll put life hacks. And
I got it in the Dream Builder, so feeling blessed.
all right, I think we're good to go. So guys, sorry about the delay. I'm so glad to see you guys. I was crazy busy today. I literally just finished my last Zoom about 10 minutes ago. Both down a bite to eat, use the restroom, and now we're back. I don't know who's watching. So for those of you that don't know us, good evening or good morning, depending on what part of the world you're from. Yep, drop us down in the comments what state or country that you're in and what time it is. I am Shana Melissa Stockman, and basically I'm a holistic healer and a board certified nurse practitioner who basically healed myself when the specialist couldn't, and now I help a lot of others heal them when the specialist can't, so they can feel better, do more, and just be happier. And I have with me today a couple of very special guests who are also co-authors in our new book, Overcoming Life Obstacles. It's about real people, real struggles. And Michele King in Minnesota is going to be our tech support, right? And our support here. And Ms. Veronica Gianferri, I want to hope I do you justice by introducing you. I wanted to come out and share to the world, and so did Veronica, because this is something that's near and dear to my heart. Cancer in the US alone will affect 50% of people. So if you are in the room with, say, one parent or one child, statistically, one of the two of you will develop cancer. That is huge. We need to be more proactive, not reactive with our healthcare. I call it the sick care, not the healthcare system. That's a whole other topic at another time. But 50% of us, it's like 50-50 chance of rain or sun. It's going to affect us. The other 50% could relate to it. So we really want to touch on this subject. We have some helpful information to empower you with the tools you need that you too can overcome a cancer diagnosis. And I mean, that has to be one of the scariest things in your life when you get a cancer diagnosis and the doctor's like, hey, listen, you have 2 months left. Like that's like putting an expiration stamp on your life, you know? So people have to take it a lot more serious. And I want to share with the world that a lot of the specialists, no matter how great they are, they went to medical school and graduated years ago. They might not be up to date with the newest treatments and diets and biotech things that are out there. So it's important for you to do your own research and go to your physician or your specialist and say, here, I want to try this, or here, I want to do this. I know for myself, when I was in heart failure, I had to do that. I'd be like, hey, doc, hello. And, you know, I had to go doctor to doctor till I found one that listened to me. I'm not saying switch doctors. I'm saying just make your voice be heard. And if your healthcare provider is not making you healthier, then maybe you need a second opinion. Okay, so with that said, I'm on a mission to just, and I think Veronica is too, help the world with the knowledge we have that a lot of people don't know about that's out there. And these are things for cancer survivors that could be used in conjunction with sometimes, and others may choose to use it instead of. So Miss Veronica Gianferri, I hope I do you justice. She is all the way from New Hampshire. That must have been a long trip, right? And she is that heart of gold, a lovely soul. And I'm going to let you, if you don't mind, sharing with us a little bit about your past with the cancer, and just so we know a little more of background, because I know she's been diagnosed with cancer, and she'll tell you about basically, my understanding is 3+ years ago, you were told, hey, you have cancer, metastatic spread, and basically you have 2 months left to live. And like, can you tell us like how you felt at that time and what was going on, and, you know, a little bit about the mindset maybe?
Well, I want to tell you, first of all, I came from Chile, and in Chile, we have a lot of mines. And I just want to back up the story a little bit to tell you a little bit about myself. A lot of times when you have cancer, it's either something wrong with your DNA, it's broken, or something you ate, or not everybody has the cancer cell within them. It just depends on your lifestyles, and there's so many aspects to it. I came from Chile, and I was exposed to a lot of poisons. I was exposed to a lot of mercury, copper, all different types of metals, and it's in my body. And I've been so sick. I don't think I've ever known, I don't even remember ever known not being healthy. But throughout about 14 years off and on, I've had cancer. The first cancer, it was also stage 4, and I survived that. That was in 2006. In 2008, I was again diagnosed with terminal stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, which was in my blood. It was in my lung, my left lung. It started spreading. I had 2 liters of fluid in my lung. I had a hematoma in my lung, and I also had pneumonia. I had so many things wrong with me, and I was not supposed to survive this at all. I was actually dying. The doctors, the prior doctors, when I actually started, got into the hospital and everything, didn't really know, like the doctors in the hospital didn't really know that I actually could beat this. They don't really know everything there is to know about cancer. I mean, you can't possibly know everything there is to know about cancer or any other kind of disease out there. So I had to learn how to be the advocate for my own life. They wanted to send me to a nursing home to die, and I chose no. I said, no, that's ridiculous. I'm going to go home. And if God chooses for me to die, I will do so, and I chose to live. And through the grace of God, I'm still here. And through the grace of activations, not supplementation, activations is separate from supplementation. Supplementation's a vitamin. And this is works through your cellular level to restore all your cells in your body. And that's what I've been doing. I've been doing the chemotherapy every week. It's 3 weeks on and 1 week off. And I also been doing biohacking in my own body through Melissa. Melissa's helped me quite a bit. And so has Michelle, go through the whole process of trying to heal my body. And so far, I've been quite successful at it through them. I've actually healed my the cancer that's in my blood, and my tumor in my lung has shrunk quite a bit. But although I still have a long road ahead of me, I know that I'm going to get there, and I'm going to just keep living. It's a scary situation to be in, but it's up to you how you want to fight back and get your life back. And I know that change is very difficult for people, especially people over 40 years old, because it's so settled in their ways. But if you have the gumption and the stuff within you, you can do this.
Thank you, Veronica. I think it does have a lot to do with mindset, because I know a lot of people, especially the older generation, they were told, like, whatever the doctor says, you do it. If he says stand on your head for 5 minutes, you don't question it, you just do it. And that's how the older generation, we were trained. When you go to the doctor, you do what he says because he knows the best. Now, what made you, when your doctor said, like, hey, I think you have 2 months left to live, what was it within you in that mindset that said, oh, hell no, I don't believe you, and I'm going to be here longer? Like, what, some people just would accept that and be like, okay, fine, what made you like think outside the box? And
well, first of all, I have grounded myself, and a lot of people unlike me, and everybody's different. Okay, but I ground myself to the Holy Spirit. I'm a very faithful person, and without that foundation in my life, I wouldn't have the strength. I wouldn't have had the strength to go on with my life and to be a productive person and say, hey, no, that is not your choice for you to make, to give me a life sentence and say, no, you can't live anymore. It's up to me. And that was my fight,
that sounds so similar to what I did with my cardiologist. I'm like, what do you mean 95% of those in heart failure, you don't know what causes it? I'm like, if you don't get to the cause, you can't find the solution. I said, listen, we can send men to the moon. We can find out, So I was not accepting that. And, and I went doctor to doctor till someone listened to me and was like, hey, you're right. And yes, we will do that procedure. So, I mean, I don't know what made me not accept that. I mean, I have the medical background. I don't know for you is like, to say, wait, I'm not taking this, So I like that you thought outside the box. You were your own advocate. You did a lot of research, that I know, for a lot of years on diet and supplements and what to ingest and what to stay away from. And do you have a couple of quick tips for them on like diet, like what you try to stay away from? Like, I know, but I think they'd rather hear it from you.
Oh yeah, there's so many different things you can do, especially staying away from things that are processed foods, McDonald's, anything that is not root-based, like a root-based vegetable diet is superb. Milk, a lot of it depends on the farming community. They feed a lot of growth hormones inside the animals, which is horrible because that actually makes the tumors grow. So you have to be really, really be careful of the things that you ingest and you put into your body.
A lot of people don't realize that because, a lot of the animals are given like estrogen and different hormones to increase their fertility so they can have more births and more often. And those hormones we're getting, and things like estrogen, a lot of times will feed a breast cancer that's already there. A lot of the breast cancers are dependent more on estrogen, and the more estrogen, the more they flourish. And that's good to know because, yeah, a lot of the animals are fed that. If you notice, a lot of yolks might have double yolks, a lot of the eggs. And I think that's from fertility drugs they're giving them. And I say this to my patients, to make it simple, I say, if it has eyes or comes out of the ground, it's usually okay for the most part. That's pretty much when you shop at the food store, you shop the perimeter, and all the aisles in the center are the junk, right? The processed cereals, the sodas, the potato chips. I like to keep it simple like that. And so let's fast forward a little bit. Michelle, do you have a particular question you'd like to ask Veronica? Want me to keep going?
No, it's okay. I think it's good that we'll shake it up a little.
Sure.
So Veronica, I mean, I'm really excited to hear more about your story. Of course, I think everyone should know you wrote about your story in the book, Overcoming Life Obstacles. at We Appreciate It. I'm Shane and Melissa. So if any of you want to know more about Veronica's full story, you can go there to overcominglifeobstacles.com. And I wanted to know, Veronica, as far as the day-to-day, you talked a little bit about how you are receiving the chemotherapy treatments. Is there anything that, for myself, I have been fortunate that I haven't had anyone amazingly real close to me who I've had to watch go through this. So as far as your day-to-day, when you're going through the chemo, is there any, perspective or advice that you would give somebody else who's just received a diagnosis and is about to embark and getting their chemo treatments?
I think the most important thing to do is to stay positive. Always stay positive. Don't let other people rule you. You rule your own little roost. And be an advocate for your health, and do the right things. And you're important. You're important to this world. There's so many things that a lot of people say, oh, I'm done. There's so many things in this world that you haven't done yet. You haven't begun to live. You just keep going with your life, and just put that trust that you're going to be able to make the right decisions for you. And I'm also writing another book, which has a lot to do with cancer, and it has a workbook in it. I'm going to try to teach people how to eat correctly. You're going to be able to just make decisions if you want to go through with it and try to heal your body. And I hope you do, because I'm there to help you anytime you need it. And Michelle is creating my website right now, now healthylivingenterprises.com. I'm really excited about it. She's wonderful at making sites for people. If you're interested in Michelle's little business there, actually a big business now.
Yes. She did my website too, the
Yes.
Overcoming Life Obstacles for the book. And I'm so glad that you're being so proactive and encouraging more, so that they don't have to just say, hey doc, okay, I'll take the chemo and that's it, that there are other things they can do in addition to really help that. Well, they can either help the chemo work better and also protect the healthy cells from the chemo, because chemo a lot of times kills whole cells. It doesn't discriminate and just kills cancer cells. So when it kills your good cells, those are, the cells that make your hair fall out, the cells that make you tired, and all those symptoms. And I find, a lot of the patients, when they do the alternatives in conjunction with the chemo works a lot better, and it protects the healthy cells from dying, and the healthy cells stay better quicker, longer. And I find that their numbers are better, like their white cells and their red cells stay higher longer, because a lot of times with chemo, they tend to drop down. And I think it's very important. I'm glad that you did a chapter in the book, Overcoming Life Obstacles, because a lot of people can learn from your journey, the years that you've gone through of research, and look at that and be like, wow, I'm inspired. There's somebody just like me, 2 months diagnosed, told 2 months left, and they're here 3 years later. So you give a lot of them hope and inspiration, but also you're empowering them with the needed tools and the knowledge so that they can use the things that helped you change the expiration date on your life. So I think that's so powerful. And also your husband John's chapters in there. So for the spouse of the person diagnosed with cancer, they can also get the book and see the tips that help John overcome the diagnosis and helping you fight the battle. And I think when your book comes out, I'd love to see it. That'll be awesome. It'll be a workbook with it, so you guys can maybe attend some of her seminars, workshops, and classes and follow along with the workbook and take your own notes. I think that's a genius idea. And can you paint for us, just, I don't want to spend too much more time because I know a lot of people have busy lives. Can you paint a little picture about how you were before you started doing biohacking and other things in addition to the chemo, and how you feel since you've been doing biohacking and other things?
Well, before I started biohacking my body, I was very, very ill. I was in extreme pain, pain that I would stay up all night screaming, and I kept my family up. And it does affect the family quite a bit. It's not always a lonely battle, because your whole family is involved in this. I couldn't move. My diabetes was really bad. I was taking over 600 units of insulin a day, which now I only take an eighth of. My husband was also on insulin, and he doesn't take any anymore because he's also biohacking. I'm helping him biohack his body as well. I used to have seizures, constant seizures. They wouldn't stop. I'd be in a store and I'd have a seizure. I have 3 or 4 seizures a day. Now I only have maybe once a year. Not even, just like once a year, I'll have a seizure, like around strobe lights and things like that. But I'm doing quite well now, and I can't complain because I've been in the worst position you could ever imagine. Cancer is not an easy thing to go through, and especially for the families, because you yourself are thinking about other people, not just yourself. You're thinking about, oh my goodness, this is who is going to be my daughter's mother, who is going to love her as much as you do, who's going to love my husband as much as I do, who's going to take care of them. All these things go through your mind, and it's so overwhelming. So sometimes when you really, sometimes you really need to get out of your box and say, I need to talk to somebody about it. I'll always be there, anybody that needs me to talk to, that's just my nature.
And there's always the priest, the rabbi, the reverend as well, a lot of the communities. And I'm glad that I know you are so surrounded by your community, and you've been giving your whole life to the community. I think it's time your community, if you're listening, shout out, gives back to you, because I know you always give. And I think you do a lot of gardening too, right? So you get a lot of your own vegetables and fruits, which aren't insecticides and pesticides that are more carcinogens and things like that. I think that's awesome. And just to give you guys full disclosure, I actually met Veronica. We became friends first before you ended up being a so-called client of mine. So so for friends of mine already, like, don't be like, oh, I have to go to my doctor. Like, just come to me. It's okay. That's what a lot of them, I feel like I treat the local community, the world, like every group I belong to. I'm on Facebook, they message me or whatever. So they can, follow up with me as well. And I think the biohacking, a lot of people might not know what that is. It's a very simple way to take back the power and take control over your own body. It's like there's different pathways in our bodies, and they're supposed to be activated and do things that they used to do and should be doing, and they're not. So these activators, they could be capsules, caplets, or drinks, are quick and easy to do. It's simple, but yet natural. It's a proven system that we use that really activate the body to do the things they used to. We know things like cancer feeds off free radicals, oxidative stress, and inflammation. And even the neuropathy that you had, sometimes the cancer may give you neuropathy, the nerve pain, or sometimes it's for the chemo, a lot of times does that. So what Veronica and I do too is we activate these pathways to do what they should. Now, when they reduce this free radical damage, this oxidative stress, that gets rid of a lot of the inflammation that's causing a lot of the problems. And I know myself, I had the excruciating nerve pain. I would just touch my hair and it was like through the roof, and I have a huge pain tolerance.
Yeah.
So it is excruciating, it's debilitating. A lot of times the doctors, how they were trained to give you a pill. So now you're just dumb and stupid and you don't feel the pain as much, but it's still there. Pain is a sign that there's something going on. It's like a dummy light in your car. If you don't take care of it, you're gonna need like a massive engine. So it's a little cheaper now to get the oil change in the car when the dummy light comes on than to replace the whole engine. And I think for people, they might be like, oh, well, things might cost money, but it's cheaper now than the price you're going to pay later when you have complications, when you can't go to work, when you don't have the income, when you're paying the co-pays to go to the doctor, the co-pays to go to the specialist, the co-pays for the pills that you need, then the more pills you need for the side effects of the other pills. I know that's how it was for me personally. I feel sometimes medications are masking tape on a garden hose and good for now, and never get at the root cause. I love getting at the root cause. And in fact, I'm going to be in another book too with the founder of functional medicine. And functional medicine is also getting at the root cause of a problem. If we get at the cause, we can often revert it back to the way it used to be. And that often, a lot of times, gets rid of symptoms. And then sometimes people don't a lot of my clients don't need meds. If I get to the cause, I find the solution, it reverses the damage that's done, their symptoms go away. Often my clients don't need meds, feel better than they have in years, if not decades. And Yes. So I find it's important to be your own advocate. A lot of the newer technologies were not around when your doctors went to school. They probably don't know of these newer things. You can reach out to get our book, Overcoming Life Obstacles. Either reach out to Veronica directly for a personalized signed copy by her, or go to my website, Overcoming Life Obstacles, for a personal signed copy by me. You can go to Veronica's new website, and both of our websites created by Michele, of Thriving Resources. So shout out to you. You can reach out to Michele King on Facebook, or I can forward you her information to build your website. And at Healthy Living Enterprises, they can get links to the other things that you do, and maybe click and send you an email like, oh my God, I want to know more. When's your upcoming class? And also for upcoming events, usually it's a lot easier to find them on Facebook than the website. By the time, the things change on the website, they're so rapid. So for current events, I would encourage you to either go to my wall, Shana Melissa Stockman, Veronica Palomo's wall, Palomo, or Michele King's Facebook wall, or they can go to the book page, Overcoming Life Obstacles, the book website, Overcoming Life Obstacles. Sometimes I try to post things. I'm also known as the Biohack NP, or the World Wellness Expert now. So some things I try to post there. Not to confuse you guys, I think the easiest is either Healthy Living Enterprises or website Overcoming Life Obstacles, or the Facebook page Overcoming Life Obstacles. So Veronica, I think, is going to have some upcoming seminars and classes for people that want to, hey, let's go over diet. Hey, let's go over mindset. Hey, let's go over this biohacking thing. I think a lot of the things I have coming up are usually on Wednesday nights around 7:30 Eastern time. I'm going to try to stick to that schedule so people start knowing, hey, what's next Wednesday? It's Melissa's thing at 7:30 Eastern time, which is normally 7:30 Eastern time, which is 6:30 Central time. Michele, to wrap it up, would you like to say any last words?
Well, one thing I was impressed with, I know there's a number of people that I have been close to in my life who have dealt with issues with insulin. And my understanding, Veronica, is that you have also been able to help with your insulin levels being at a lower level. And was that something that that you feel is attributed in a great part to the biohacking techniques?
Well, let me tell you something. I know that God is in my corner. He's always been in my corner, because I have diabetes, not a diabetic 2, and I'm not a diabetic 1. I actually have half a pancreas. My pancreas blew up. I had 7 tumors and 3 cysts, and one day they decided to blow up, and I actually died, and they brought me back to life. So it is a miracle, because my doctors told me for years and years, there's no cure, nothing you can do. You're going to be on insulin for the rest of your life. It's going to get more and more as you progress, through your life. And no, it's actually going in reverse. And that's a miracle in itself. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you one more thing. It actually takes care of your skin. The skin starts to change. You get better hair. You don't get this crazy hair and big holes of patches of no hair. You get a lot of hair. It starts to really change you in every way. He says, oh my God, I got my hair back, And Melissa can prove that with a gentleman that she had on
Yeah.
there.
Or even those that know me too. Oh yes, I know who you're talking about. My hair was a lot thinner than this, and I always had scalp showing, and I don't anymore. So if you go back like a couple years and stuff, and I'd say this, it's important to get those sugars down, because a lot of times the cancer seems to feed off the sugars and the fats and make them grow and spread more. And I do know, because of Veronica with the cancer, and they removed a piece of her pancreas, the pancreas produces the insulin. So knowing that she only has a portion of the pancreas that normally produces the insulin to keep your sugars good, and that you were still able to go from like 600 units to like 100 units a day, is like, oh my God, like that is huge, that blows my mind. And then I know your husband's off the insulin now too, which is, that's even cooler. And I do know the sugars make the nerve pain worse and make the cancer worse. So it's important to get to the sugars. And I also know that you were already doing a good diet before the other methods of biohacking. So I can't just say it was just the diet that made your sugars better and your insulin use go down.
Exactly. You have to be you have to put many different ingredients in order to get this result. It's not just one. You have to really kind of weigh them both out and say, hey, I need these together. Even sometimes vitamins, but you got to be careful the vitamins you buy, and that's going to be in my book because
Yeah.
have
And
sand in them and soap powder and everything.
you
in them.
just hit the nail on the head, because synergistic results I love. It's like if you have a back pain and maybe ice or heat will help and an Advil, and you do the both, you'll get a better result. So it's the same thing, you know, when you have cancer, you're fighting for your life. You have to get all your soldiers out. You can't be like, you know what, let's see how I do, I'll keep a couple for reserve. No, you're fighting for your life. This is like a 50-50 shot here. You got to get all the soldiers out. So you can get those chemo soldiers out, you can get the diet soldiers out, what they can do, keep your sugars good, your fat down, you know, and then do the biohacking, and then you could have more synergistic results because each of those soldiers is helping the other soldier, you know. Awesome. So I guess they should go to Healthy Living Enterprises to contact you about upcoming events, or go to Overcome Obstacles for the book. Huh?
One thing is that healthylivingenterprises.com.
Yes.
Or is there a Facebook of some sort as well?
Okay, well, I know Veronica's Facebook is Veronica Palomo, Palomo, and I'll drop it in the comments. And then the Facebook for the book is just Overcoming Life Obstacles, same as the website. And so the book Overcoming Life Obstacles, or any of us personal walls, or the book Overcoming Life Obstacles website or Facebook page, so they can, you know, reach out, like say, hey, I want to get in touch with Veronica. If you're my friend, then I'll put you in touch with her. Same with Michelle's friends, and we'll put you in touch with the right person. And then when we post this, we'll drop the links down below, make it easy for you guys. So basically it's a website or Facebook page. Website has the more concrete details. Facebook pages have more the upcoming events kind of thing. And I didn't realize.
Let me just add right now, over the next 48 hours, there's some reconstruction
on the web.
Yes, on Veronica's site. So, but
yes, so go back to Veronica's site in the near future. If you don't see what you need, give it another couple of days. And same with mine. And I always post, you know what I didn't notice is I post a lot on my story, a lot of the current events, and I don't keep them on my Facebook wall. And a lot of people don't even look at the story. So it's important. Check out our stories too. Or if you just look at the wall, check the stories. If you just check the stories, check the wall. That's important. And maybe we need to post in both places. And I think that's, I think we kept it short and sweet. And Wednesdays, I know in the future, I'll be doing things just about every single Wednesday coming up in the next month or two at 7:30 Eastern time. And Michele King, they can go to, was it Thriving Resources?
Oh, thrivingresources.com. In the book, we won't talk about it now, but basically my chapter was Thriving Resources Restores, because I am a 3-time divorcee and single mother of 3. And I wrote my chapter about that experience, but mostly about ways that I've overcome and what I have for resources for you too to share that really brought me into where I'm in the space now, and so much happier. And you know, I agree with you, Veronica. There's so many things that are about mindset, no matter what your obstacle is. And I have a whole section on mindset myself too. So I agree. That's
awesome. And since Michele is the 3-time divorcee, she's the expert at that. So if you guys are going through a divorce, she has years of experience at this. You know, don't take the road less traveled. Be like, I want to go to the expert, the pro. I want to go to somebody that's been there, done that, and is going to condense their years of research. And same with Veronica, her cancer story. She's researched it for years. You know, don't try to drag this out years. Just go look at her chapter. And in the ebook, they can, after your chapters, they have your bio with, and they click the link and it goes boom, right to your website, boom, right to your Facebook page. So that's the easiest way. A lot of people I find are buying the e-version because they can just click and go right to you. And they're also then, they like the physical hard book, which are on the website Overcoming Life Obstacles, or reach out to Michele if you want her to personalize a copy for you, or Veronica. All right, I guess, and I'm just going to share this with them. OLO. So, one more thing. Overcoming Life Obstacles. It's real people, real struggles. We're not writers. We're just real people in real life that we talked a little bit about the obstacle, but more how we overcame it. So you guys don't have to take the road less traveled. So you guys can be like, wow, there's somebody going through something similar to me. And wow, I thought no one can relate to this struggle. And you can have hope and inspiration and empower you with the tools you need to overcome at an expedited pace. And this book became such a phenomenon, and #1 in 3 countries in multiple categories, including medical books, cancer, alternative medicine, holistic medicine, and a whole bunch of categories that now the readers are asking us how to get it. So the website, or any of us, Overcoming Life Obstacles. And then also a lot of people have been reaching out to me like, oh my God, when's your next book coming out? I want to be in the next one. So a lot of people that want to be in the next edition, they go to Overcoming Life Obstacles, and there's a little icon they click. It says what, book series or something, Michelle?
Yes.
It says book series, and you guys can submit an entry and see if you'll be selected to be in the next edition. It doesn't matter if you had a similar obstacle as somebody else, because you overcame it differently. It doesn't matter if you're not a professional writer, we're not. So you can click there and then send me an email, and I'll reach back to you. If I don't reach you in a couple days, hunt me down. I have like 6,000 and something emails. My phone's maxed out. So the next editions will be out by November. So start on this now. And once the chapter of the book fills up, then that's it. We're going to close the doors and then have to open a new book. So I think my next one, I'm going to do one also on healthcare professionals, and one about death and dying, one about dis-ease and disorders. So someone might be like, hey, quadriplegic, and be like, oh man, I would love to write in that book. They can. There's a volume for anybody and everybody. We're going to have a volume about abuse, for sexual, mental, physical abuse. I didn't realize until this book how many of the writers in this book wrote about that. I mean, that's huge. There's going to be another one about addictions, if it's drugs, gambling, sex, fetishes, OCD, eating disorders. So there's going to be a book that your chapter will fit into. We just got to figure out the right one for you. And I might just do one just on biohacking, because somebody asked me about that the other day. Just like the biohackers out there, all the tips of the trade that they can share as well. So, all right. And OLO stands for, if you guys hear us say OLO, drop us OLOs on our comments. Definitely. OLO is a double acronym I've created that stands for the title of the book, Overcoming Life Obstacles. And it also stands for optimistically lifting others. So when you hear us say OLO, it's not like, yes, you overcame an obstacle. You're like, yes. It's more like OLO, like, hey, I did it. I'm loud, I'm proud. I overcame life obstacle, and then I optimistically lifted others. And then you have to celebrate the wins. A lot of times when we have a success, we're just off to the next task. I think those celebrating the wins helps us really re-energize the batteries. And we'd love to hear back from you guys on, hey, how the book helped you, and which edition you're going to be in. So definitely drop in the comments, OLOs, hearts, loves, reshare this so that those that are overcoming similar obstacles can benefit from this book, And I gotta say, this book helped our careers to a whole new level, because I didn't know it was going to be the bridge to connect to our businesses. So I'm finding people reaching out to me like, oh my God, you got a book. Oh yeah, aren't you the holistic healer? Like, I have a question for you. So the book is being the bridge to my business as well. So it's helping boost their businesses to a whole new level. All the authors have a 1 to 2 page bio, a headshot, links to their websites, links to their social medias. Oh, I have the book right here. You might not be able to see it too well. This is the cover. The new cover edition is going to be something else, #1 sticker on it, but also on the back, all the pictures of everyone too. So how cool is that to have your picture on the back of the book, your picture inside a book? I think that's pretty cool. And in #1. So then the next, whoever's
very awesome. I have my stack of books that came the other day.
I just got 2 more stacks too, and I got to ship them out. And that's awesome. Like, we're not just a bestseller. We're #1. Now I heard 80% of people want to write a book, only 5% do. And of that 5%, less than 1% makes a #1. So whoever decides to join forces will also be part of a already #1 bestseller. It's kind of like a turnkey. You submit a chapter, your bio, your headshot, boom, you're done. You have a book in a few months, rather than a lot of authors take years of their life. They never publish, and they usually never become #1. But when we all drive it together, 29 authors in this book, that's 29 other audiences that are going to hear about Michele and be like, wow, why didn't I find her sooner? So it's helped expand my business to other countries and continents as well, which I did not expect. So that's awesome.
And also, if you need ghostwriting, I also ghostwrite.
Yes, and Veronica does ghostwriting. Michele can build your website for you. We have a core team of US-based people. We have writers, editors, ghostwriters, people that'll build your website, help you with your bios, your headshots, whatever you need. We do spell check, grammar check, like they convert it to the digital format for the book, the paperback format, design the cover.
And might I add, the other thing that was really neat about this whole experience, Shana, Melissa, and Veronica, I loved the fact that through the connections that we have and dream builders and such, that we have people that were from around the globe that also wrote in this book. So
oh yeah,
great. It's
I didn't plan on talking about. Yeah, I didn't plan on talking about the book tonight, but yeah, so we have authors in Canada and Australia too, and a lot of different states. So, I mean, how cool is that? That I was shipping these bulk orders to Australia, bulk orders to Canada. So now all those Canadians and all those Aussies, I think that's the correct word. I hope you don't take offense to that, because that's what I heard they're called there. So, I mean, you can call me Yankee. I don't know. That's the correct term. But, you know, how cool is that? That I was bulk shipping these to, you know, so many different places. I mean, that's wild. And then one of the authors wanted copies to his brew house and his bakery and his gallery. I mean, so you never know where this is going to end up. And then like another author, I saw her, you know, her daughter holding up the book, and the book inspired, her mom wanted to go back to writing. So the book inspired Heather to rewrite again. And then Heather's daughter was inspired by seeing her mom's chapter in the book. So, I mean, we're just passing it on to the next generation. It's like, we're the new, I don't want to say Dr. Seuss, because there's been some turmoil about that. We're like the non-discriminatory version of Dr. Seuss that's just going to inspire more people to write books.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies. This has
yes,
been
yeah, we should go.
And
Time's
Veronica, I
precious.
love, yes, I'm sure people have lots to do.
Love you.
And I love what you've shared on your whole cancer survivor story, where you're at with things, and, you know, bless you, and, you know, keep plugging away. And I know, you know, obviously, I mean, you're still here. God still has his purpose for you. And I think a lot of this is you being able to be you and share with other people who are just going through this. Like, I'm like, for myself, I want to help other people. You know, I spent like 10 years of just living in yuckhood, is about the best polite way I can put it, you know, in a lot of ways, emotionally or financially, or you name it. And until I got a hold of certain resources through, you know, groups that helped me, and I realized what I needed to do, I just wish I'd have known some of these things sooner. So I'm like you, I'm out there to share with people, hey, this is the path to get, you know, back into your life and where you want to be. Right.
Yeah. And this will help you all become successful.
Yes. I forgot. We're going to turn their stepping stones, their obstacles, into stepping stones to elevate themselves, and then reach down and uplift as many as you can with you. And a lot of people, like, maybe they can relate to my struggle, because like, look, I was in a heart failure and the doctors overdosed me. Like, I almost never woke up. And they totally left me hopeless. Like, we don't know what to do with you. So, you know, I had to take back the power and be like, hey, what can I do? So I was researching everything. And now a lot of other people now, where if your specialists are leaving you hopeless and you've tried a lot of meds, try this, try that, like you're a guinea pig and not getting any results, that's when you can reach out to me and say, hey, what did you do? Maybe that can help me, you know? All right. Awesome, ladies.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And thank you so much, Melissa.
Yes, you're welcome. And I'll clarify. Let me just clarify that. So some of you may know me as Melissa Stockman. Some of you may know me as Shana Melissa. Basically, recently discovered my birth certificate with my original birth name on it. And it's actually Shana Melissa. And I'm trying to transition back. So I'm the same person. If it's, you see Melissa, Shana Melissa, I just think Shana's cooler, because when I make it more famous, then it's going to be like Oprah. They're not going to have to say Oprah who. It's just going to be Shana. There's not going to be Shana which one. It's not like John who, Mike who, just Shana. Like, well, maybe I'll just have an S. No, I don't
either way, it's a really cool thing to find something else like that about yourself that you hadn't known for years. So, well, yes, ladies, it's been great. I got to
thank you. We give a big OLO.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Be well, stay safe. God bless. OLO. Oh,
hi, everybody. Take care.
God bless.
Oh, Jenny's dropping down in the comments. I don't know why. Hey, Canada. So proud of you, girl. Caregiver to caregiver coach. All right, let me end this live. I don't know how to end the live. Stop live streaming. Hey, and I think we did amazing. This was my second Facebook Live through Zoom. And the last one didn't work so well. Okay, I think I stopped. Okay, I stopped the live. Let me just make sure it stopped.
Sure.
I think so. You're learning. That's awesome.
For some reason, I didn't get the echo this time. I don't know why. I did it the same exact way as last time.
Maybe it's because we were on with you and it wasn't just you.
Should I should stop the recording, right? Yeah, we stopped the
Sure.
recording.
Let's see.
Okay. Do you want cloud recording?